Greetings, I'm Dr. Sean Reed, author of the Dating Toolbox, available on Amazon.com. All right, guys, so today I want to talk about the two major aspects, the two major macro categories of a relationship. In some of my other videos, I broke down relationships into 5 phases. But there's another way of looking at relationships, and I think we need to do this, that is more of a macro view, okay? So there are two aspects, two big steps in a relationship. We have selection and management, okay? The reason I'm doing this video is because I've been getting some comments, I have some posters, some guys I'm kind of working with that are in marriages and they're doing everything right. They're, giving their wife affection, giving their wife romance. They're doing some housework. They're doing a number of the things that that are necessary to keep a woman in love, and they're not having luck because the unfortunate reality is that you can't turn a sow's ear into a silk purse, okay? If you don't pick the right women to begin with, there's nothing you can do to ensure a quality relationship. And I've argued this many times, that in today's world, in today's culture, excuse me, only about 1 in 4 women are relationship material. So it's absolutely critical. A big step. As a matter of fact, when I break down the 5 phases of a relationship, 4 of those phases are about selection. We must weed out unsuitable women. We must constantly sift and screen to make sure we get a high quality women. And that is for, those of us that want to get married. Even if you don't want to get married, even if you just want to have a good relationship with a high quality woman, you still must be extremely selective. So today I want to talk a little bit more about that selection process. By the end of this video, you will know what you need to do, the red flags you need to look for, and how you can sift and screen to ensure that you have a high quality woman. So, like I said, I've got a guy I'm coaching right now. He's in a marriage. And, he's doing a lot of the things I recommend. He's doing some housework. I haven't completely tried to sort out all his problems, but his wife has denied him sex for 2 years. Huge red flag. Okay. If my wife goes, I'm 62, obviously sex isn't as important to me as it was when I was 42, but it's still pretty darn important. If we go 2 weeks without sex, my wife and I, there's a problem. That's an issue. So, even after 18 years of marriage, and even though I'm qualified for Social Security, I still generally get sex at least once a week. So if you're in a sexless marriage, that's clearly a problem. No man should have to go through with that. Okay. And I've got another guy I've been talking to, I've been working with. He bought my book. He's trying to he's been through a couple divorces. Great guy, an alpha male, very accomplished mixed martial artist. He's fought at the highest level, and he has a relationships problem. He's dating a gal right now, and after 2 months of seeing this gal, she's still wearing her old engagement ring from her past boyfriend. Huge red flags, So I asked him, well, what are you doing? I asked him questions. How often are you seeing this woman? He's like, I see her 3 times a week. And I go, that's a huge mistake. We don't see a woman more than once a week until she starts to prove herself to us. Again, this guy, it goes back to the idea of we are the prize. You've got to realize that you are a man of high value. I made this mistake myself. In my first marriage, I did not understand my own value, my own worth, and I did not recognize red flags early on in the relationship. My first wife on our first date was telling me that her friend borrowed her coat and didn't give it back, and she wanted to kill her. And stupid me, again, this is long before I developed my system, I didn't recognize that was a red flag. Now, knowing what I know, I would immediately stop dating a woman like that, but I didn't know that. So again, guys, we need to learn how to screen these undesirable women out, and this leads to our five phases in a relationship. Okay, the first four stages are all screening process, all designed to get unsuitable women out of our life. Remember, we're constantly opening women. We're starting conversations with women every day. We're getting 6, 7 phone numbers a month. We're dating multiple women. So we always have options, and we don't need to tolerate bad behavior. Okay, so let's look at some of these steps and what I call bad behavior, reasons why, red flags that should screen women out. So when you start dating a gal, of course, you start talking to her, and the first step in the screening process is she pleasant to talk to? Does she give you her phone number? And then the next step is you ask her out. So you get her phone number, you wait at least 2-3 days to call her. You have a nice, clever conversation, keep it light, keep it funny, keep it witty. You ask her out. Does she accept your date idea? Does she accept your date idea? Or does she immediately start negotiating dates? Okay, if you ask her out, say, hey, let's go bowling, let's go miniature golfing, let's go get some coffee, let's go get a drink, right? We keep those first 3 dates action-oriented. We don't do dinners. We don't do dinner dates on the first few dates. If she starts demanding that you take her to an expensive restaurant, she's gonna be trouble. Get her out of there. So our first 3 dates are already part of the screening process. Okay, we look for red flags during that part of the process. So let's say that goes well, okay, and we enter that woman into our dating rotation. We still do not commit exclusivity to her, even after 3 or 4 dates. At that point, she is a Tuesday gal or she is a Thursday gal. We see her once a week. We keep that rotation, so we build that rotation. Stage 2, we manage that rotation. We need to date these women for a while to see if they are acceptable. Most women will usually start to throw up red flags within those first 2 to 3 months. So they're going to fall out of your dating rotation. So you're going to have a period where you manage your 3-woman dating rotation. And again, we're constantly sifting. We're constantly selecting. Women need to constantly do things that add value to our life, okay? If you've been seeing a gal for 8-9 weeks, there are no red flags, minimal problems. At this point, if she cancels a date, it's okay. What we're looking for is something called a counteroffer, right? And it's not an expensive dinner, just her saying, hey, I'm busy at this time on Tuesday. Can you maybe see me Wednesday? Something like that is okay, but major red flags are not okay. But let's say things are going really, really well. She's going to start to push for exclusivity, okay? Let's say that happens. 9 weeks into dating her, you commit to be exclusive. And at that point, we stop seeing all our other women. Then we enter into the period which I call the golden year. Okay, a lot of times, more often than not, problems will start to arise in a relationship, right? One time I made the mistake of proposing to the gal before, again, I developed my system. Women always have to bring up the idea of marriage. I proposed to her at 8 months. By the time we had been seeing ourselves for a year, she still had not introduced me to her parents. That is a huge red flag. So I broke up with her. By this time, I was starting to refine my system, and I realized that you need to get that golden year. You need to get a year of dating with no major problems, no major fights, no major arguments. If you've been dating a gal for 8 or 9 months and you're constantly fighting, marriage is not going to fix that. Babies are not going to fix that. So you get out, you break up with her, and you go back to the beginning, and you start to build that 3-woman rotation. It isn't until we get a woman that gives us a golden year. Now she is a prospect for marriage. By the end of that year, she should be pushing you for marriage. Right, guys? It's never the man who makes that type of decision. Women make all the major decisions in a relationship. There's only one thing a man can do, and that is to keep a woman in love with him. As a matter of fact, that's the only thing you can do 18 years in a relationship. Keep a woman in love with you. I've learned how to do that, and I'm trying to teach my guys how to do that. Okay, guys, so unless every stage of this relationship goes properly, you are not going to have a woman who is marriage material. And that is why a lot of these marriages can't be saved, because you married the wrong woman. You married a woman who simply is not relationship material. And in today's world, there are lots of them. Our colleges tell women, teach them to hate men. Our media teach women to hate men. So good women are hard to find, and you must go through an extensive screening process in order to find them. That's why a lot of guys today say, I simply don't want to get married. And if that is the case, I would still argue you still go through these phases, even if you just want to have a girlfriend, okay? You want to get that golden year regardless. You may not want to get married at the end of that process, but that'll be an option you have, and you will have a high quality woman that brings value into your life. Okay, guys, so if you like what you saw and what you heard today, please hit that like and subscribe button. Guys, if you want to get rid of all the problems in your dating life, if you want to learn a meticulous and methodical program, a systematic program that will get quality women in your life, please, guys, check out my book. It's right down below the comments. If you have any comments, please post them. I'm trying my best to answer all my comments. But my full program is in my book. It's only $13, available on Amazon.com, and it will drastically change your dating life.